The Ballad of Fisher's Boarding House. Rudyard Kipling. That night, when through the mooring chains the wide-eyed corpse rolled free, to blunder down by garden reach and rot at Kidgeree, the tale the hully told, the shoal the lean shoal told to me. Single quote: he was full to Fisher's boarding house, where sailormen resigned, and there were men of all the ports from Mississippi to Clyde, and regally they sped and smoked, and fearsomely they lied. They lied about the purple sea that gave them scanty bread, they lied about the earth beneath, the heavens overhead, for they had looked too often on black rum when that was red. They told their tales of wreck and wrong, of shame and lust and fraud, they backed their toughest statements with the brimstone of the Lord, and crackling oaths went to and fro across the fist-banged board. And there was Hans the blue-eyed Dane, bull-throated, bare of arm, who carried on his hairy chest the Madeltruda's charm, the little silver crucifix that keeps a man from harm. And there was Jake without the ears, and Pamba the Malay, and Carboy Jin the Guinea cook, and Luz from Vigo Bay, and honest Jack who sold them slopes and harvested their pay. And there was Salem Hardiker, a lean Bostonian, he Russ, German, English, half-breed, Finn, Yank, Dane, and Portuguese, at full to Fisher's boarding house they rested from the sea. Now Anne of Austria shared their drinks, calling anew her fame, from Tarnow in Galicia to Juan Bazaar she came, to eat the bread of infamy and take the wage of shame. She held a dozen men to heal, rich spoil of war was hers, in hose and gown and ring and chain, from 20 mariners, and, by port law, that week, men called her Salem Hardikers. But seamen learnt with landsmen know that neither gifts nor gain can hold a winking light o' love or fancy's flight restrain, when Anne of Austria rolled her eyes on Hans the blue-eyed Dane. Since life is strife, and strife means knife, from Howrah to the bay, and he may die before the dawn who'll court out the day, in full to Fisher's boarding house we woo all yet we may. But cold was Hans the blue-eyed Dane, bull-throated, bare of arm, and laughter shook the chest beneath the Madeltruda's charm, the little silver crucifix that keeps a man from harm. Amperson quo. You speak to Salem Hardiker. Amperson quo. You was his girl, I know. Amperson quo. I ship myselfs tomorrow, see, Amperson quo. And round the squaw we go, Amperson quo. South, down the Kattegat, by Hagelm, Amperson quo. To Besser in sorrow. Amperson quo. When love rejected turns to hate, all ill betide the man. Amperson quo. You speak to Salem Hardiker and quo. She spoke as woman can. A scream, a sob, and quo. He called me names. Amperson quo. And then the fray began. An oath from Salem Hardiker, a shriek upon the stairs, a dance of shadows on the wall, a knife thrust unawares, and Hans came down, as cattle drop, across the broken chairs. In Anne of Austria's trembling hands the weary-eyed fellow, Amperson quo. I ship myselfs tomorrow, straight Amperson quo. For Besser in sorrow. Amperson quo. And Madeltruda comes to me, Amperson quo. At Easter, and I go, Amperson quo. South, down the Kattegat, what's here? Amperson quo. There are no lights to guide. Amperson quo. The mutter ceased, the spirit passed, and Anne of Austria cried in full to Fisher's boarding house when Hans the mighty died. Thus slew they Hans the blue-eyed Dane, bull-throated, bare of arm, but Anne of Austria looted first the Madeltruda's charm, the little silver crucifix that keeps a man from harm.